Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Aloha Friday, guys, or by the time you see this, it's probably Saturday. Want to talk a little bit about Power Rangers. I know I haven't talked about Power Rangers for a while. It came out on Digital HD. I got it right there. Got it, I think it was on Tuesday when it released. So I got it right away. And I'm telling you, my 5-year-old son would not stop watching it. Every time I pick him up at preschool, he says, "Daddy, can I go back and watch Armored Power Ranger, New Power Ranger?" He calls it the Armored Mighty Morphin. So it definitely sinks in with him. He loves the soundtrack. He wants to hear the music when they're walking out. So it's kind of, it gives me a lot of warmth, because it's like when I was a kid and watched like Superman, there's parts of the movie that were, yeah, they're just talking and stuff, but parts that really made me remember the nostalgic parts, or even like Star Wars, things like that. It grew up with me, and that nostalgia factor will always be with him, and that I cannot be more prouder that he enjoyed this movie and is still enjoying it. I mean, I think this is the 6th time we've watched this. And he'd want to watch it before he goes to bed again, and that's awesome. That's totally awesome. But I want to talk about the Screen Rant article that came out today. Power Rangers PG-13 rating harmed its success, says the director. Now, if you go to read this article, they talk about what happened to Power Rangers, and yes, it didn't make much box office money. Domestically, it only did 85 million, foreign 54, so it did about 140 on a $100 million budget. So it's not that great. If you figure in marketing, usually it's like 50 million, I think, and then there was a lot of Krispy Kreme in there, so I don't know how much Krispy Kreme paid to be in that film. In this article, they go into a little bit of the background about the the 90s children, who we are, and that's who we are right now, and how the potential box office might have been pulled away because of its rating. And Israelite came out and says, yes, he believes that the rating system prevented children from watching this film. So because it's a PG-13 film, it should have been a PG film, and that would have attracted more of an audience. Personally, I don't believe that at all. If you want to let your kids to watch it, a PG-13, that's a Marvel movie. That's Avengers, PG-13. A lot of these Marvel movies, superhero films, are PG-13. I took my 5-year-old, to watch this movie. Blaming it on a PG-13 rating is not really valid. I don't really know who to blame. Power Rangers is interesting. I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it. If you know me and you've listened to my channel, I'm obsessed. A lot of general audience didn't even want to go see it. Or when they saw it, it's like, oh, that's campy, all those colorful things. That boggles my mind. I don't understand that. How can watching Avengers and have Captain America in all blue with the little wings on his head, a giant green character, Iron Man in all red and yellow, how can that not be campy while this is campy? In this case, they went with a serious tone because of the trying to do the Avengers thing, trying to do the DC Universe thing. Why did that work and this didn't? It's like there was an undertone for half the kids in the 90s enjoyed this and wanted to watch it, while the other half is like, that's dumb, that's nerd stuff, I don't want to touch that. I think there was a negative connotation to begin with. It's like, oh, it's gonna be a campy, I'm not into Power Rangers, that was out of my time, that's like some Teletubbies show. It didn't have that coolness effect like a comic book, like Iron Man and Captain America and things like that. So it's very frustrating to me, because it is very much the same. It is very much a superhero franchise, and they try to do it in that way. And maybe who are the hardcore Power Rangers fans could not accept that this is the new rebooted version, could not accept that, and the other half don't even want to be involved with that. They think that's something that's below us. Even though they're like fans of Marvel, fans of DC, fans of those kind of superheroes, they're like, this is below them. And a lot of kids, I guess parents didn't want to take their kids. They didn't think it was like that, or part of the marketing, or part of the success of the film, where there was not enough Power Rangers in it. The first week was solid. It was a 40 million weekend for domestically, and then it just kept dropping off. I think as time went by, people realized it was more of a teenager flick, more of a teenage drama than an actual superhero film, and they really wanted to go in there watching, you know, martial arts, giant robots, and you get that in the third act. And the other thing that I think really diminished its return is the fact that they spread it out the releases. China should have been released on the same week as America, because as soon as China's release, I think a lot of them already saw it. I think a lot of people already went online, looked at the bootleg film, and already saw it, or already got word from the street that the movie was like this. It's trying to be Transformers, but it's not. If it had released if it had a worldwide release right at the same time, I think it would have done very well. But we'll see. I mean, this article does leave on a high note, and I did talk about that, where the toy sales are really up. It's the #1 action figure brand right now, above Marvel, DC, and all the Star Wars even. And also the digital HD has come out. I don't know how much people have bought that. The Blu-ray DVD sales are coming later this month, so we'll see how that performs. So right now, I think Lionsgate and Haim Saban has not come out and said anything, because they're still waiting to see if any of those returns have come. So I'm actually happy. I'm glad I put my donate a little bit of my money towards a possible sequel, and then I'll go ahead and get the Blu-ray, because I want the 4K HD. I finally got a 4K television, so used, but I finally got one, so I wanted to get some of that. I also want to see some of those behind the scenes, and I watched one of those cut clips of the Power Rangers fighting. It was a long, like 2.5 minute fight, and really different, sort of different from the one we got, and I wish they could have added that in within the middle of the film. But hopefully it does good. So that's all we can do, is hope that everybody comes out, starts buying the Blu-ray and DVD, the toy sales stay up, you get the digital HD version, and then maybe we'll get a Power Rangers 2, albeit a smaller budget, and I'll talk more into that this weekend if I have some time. And I want to show you a couple films that used a small budget, was able to make a nice special effects extravaganza without going too far and out in between. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for subscribing, and have a wonderful weekend.